Please welcome the President's Party, led by Katie Embry, Chief of Staff and Secretary of the College. Please welcome Leslie Morse Nelson, Chair, Board of Trustees.
Good morning, and welcome to all our graduates and guests here and watching from afar. As Chair of the Teachers College Board of Trustees, I have the honor of officially opening today's ceremony and being the first to congratulate the 2025 Master's and Doctoral graduates of Teachers College. As we celebrate your accomplishments, we know it may not have been easy, and many of you have had a journey marked by unexpected challenges and hardship. That is what makes today all the more sweeter. So I would say, give yourselves a very big round of applause for all you have accomplished. This is a momentous day, not only because it signifies the culmination of a tremendous amount of academic effort, hours upon hours of work on papers, research, exams, presentations, and clinical field work, but it also because it signals your commitment and your readiness to step into the world and make a difference as innovators and leaders. As TC medalist Kathleen Garcia said to our graduates several years ago, change is the product of a very big vision and small, consistent execution. Your impact will be felt by people you may never meet. Work hard for those people every day, and always remember the normal and the everyday is heroic. Some of you are heading into classrooms to launch your careers as teachers. You will be working on the front lines of our country's future, nurturing and shaping the hearts and minds of young people at a time when our nation desperately needs citizens with a clear vision of what is just and what is possible. Thank you for taking on this extremely important work. Others of you will be shaping hearts and minds and bodies through other types of service as artists, art administrators, psychologists, counselors, health practitioners, neuroscientists, speech pathologists, and so much more. Together you embody what Teachers College has recognized since our founding over 130 years ago. For individuals to flourish and reach their full potential, we must support their well-being comprehensively, both in and out of school and from birth into old age. This foundational insight this drive to address the whole of human development is why Teachers College offers graduate programs not just in education, but also psychology, health, and leadership. It is why TC scholars have always been at the forefront of identifying and meeting emerging societal needs, establishing the nation's first programs in educational psychology, nutrition education, international education, special education, and so many other areas, and is why so many TC graduates have gone on to be leaders in their fields. I am so proud and grateful to be here to celebrate this new class of graduates, who I know will continue to build on and contribute to this great legacy. And now it is my pleasure to introduce the president of Teachers College, Thomas Bailey.
Greetings to all the families, friends, faculty, student volunteers, and staff joining us here today for our main event as we celebrate the momentous occasion of our 2025 TC graduates completing their degrees. You'll get more chances to that. So. Graduates, this is your day, and you have earned it, so congratulations. Now, of course, getting to this point has taken the support of so many others. So let's also celebrate all of those who have helped you get here. Your spouses and partners, parents, your children, your grandparents, siblings, and friends. Your advisors and mentors, those with us today and those not here, including perhaps the DoorDashers and Uber drivers who kept us all going. They were important too. Like many of you in this room, I am proud of you. And as I look at you, I'm also optimistic. Now, I know optimism may not be the emotion some of us have been feeling recently, maybe not for a while. So let me tell you why I feel so encouraged. You came to Teachers College because you had an idea, you had a vision. You came from distances far and near, and you made sacrifices. You were focused on learning and also on doing. And as part of your education, those ideas you came with were challenged. You defended them. Perhaps you altered them. Some of you may have gone in completely new directions. But in the end, you grew with them. This is what a TC education does. It's designed to make you question things. I know that being here today means that with the guidance and input of your faculty and peers, you've stretched yourself. You've worked hard on that initial idea, that spark of a vision, and you will now move it forward. Now, at this point, graduation speakers often talk about the world you're heading into, how your schooling has prepared you for that world, how you're ready now for the real world. But of course, you have been in the real world. TC is built around the notion of experiential learning. We learn from doing, from reflection, from social interaction, and collaboration. These were the ideas of John Dewey, who was on our faculty more than a century ago. He set the foundation for modern education in the US, and certainly the standard for Teachers College. No matter your area of focus, you have engaged with communities, with data, with each other in pursuit of your studies. While you may have used AI along the way, you also drew on the original AI, actual intelligence. And you have also engaged with the larger world. That is another legacy of John Dewey, which we are proud to uphold. In the early 1900s, a group of Chinese scholars were among the first students, international students at TC. They came to study Dewey's progressive ideas as they set out to modernize China's education system. Dewey's subsequent stay in China broadened his education and political philosophies with a decidedly international approach and mindset. To this day, we recognize that TC is an institution in and of the world that starts right in New York City, where we have more than 130 partnerships that depend on the talents of our students and faculty. K-12 classrooms throughout our 5 boroughs draw on the skills of our teacher education alumni. And tens of thousands more TC graduates extend our impact across the country and the globe in the fields of education, health, and psychology. We embrace the notion that our borders are not at 120th Street. They're not at the tip of Manhattan, and certainly not at the edge of the United States. We celebrate our place in the nation and in the world, and we celebrate the world's place on our campus, where we have students and faculty coming from 48 states, close to 80 nations, and speaking at least 30 languages. That's a good thing, and we are proud of what happens when different cultures come together and learn from one another. So graduates, I'm optimistic because by being in this world as TC students, you have already been making a difference through challenging times, through disagreement, discomfort, and even discord. Part of your education has been to live in that discord, and it has prepared you for what is still to come. For some of you, things that you've studied, things you believe in, which I believe in, are being challenged. Things like the value of diversity, of recognizing the strengths of having those different backgrounds, different ideas, and different cultures at the same table. We know it makes a difference. The value of equity has been challenged. But we believe in doing everything we can to ensure everyone has access to opportunity. Why? It makes a difference. And even the value of inclusion has been challenged, implying that it is wrong to make people feel like they belong, that they are welcome. We want all of our students, our graduates, and our community members to feel comfortable contributing according to their own beliefs and values. Why? It makes a difference. Higher education has come under attack. Research has come under attack. Teaching history has come under attack. These are the fundamentals of Teachers College, and they're infused in your education. Our graduates believe in history and learning from history. They believe in science and that facts are proven through research in labs and through data that has been collected and studied over many years. They believe that eliminating funding or challenging an idea of study does not take away its value or our commitment to its pursuit. Our graduates here today have demonstrated that they care about making the world better, about growing, about questioning. They recognize that even with the benefits of artificial intelligence, there remains a need for us to talk to each other, to be together, to engage at a deep level. Our graduates know that we gain from the friction of disagreement, and ideally, we find common ground. Now, I say ideally because finding common ground seems so difficult these days, even to me, and building consensus is a core part of who I am. In fact, I will confess that these are challenging times for me personally. My academic career started with research on immigrant communities, their employment pathways, and their important contributions to our economy and society. I was raised in a Quaker family, a religion that emphasizes consensus and cooperation. My father spent his career working for UNICEF, dedicated to bringing health and well-being to children throughout the world. I believe in community and integrity. I believe in listening. I believe that we come to the right answers by working together. And the TC community has been my home for 35 years because it is a place that not only values those principles, but encourages them in all of our students. The fact is, I believe we can come together, and I know these graduates will lead the way. We have a common focus on the public good. And so I'm heartened by our 2,200 graduates who will carry their visions forward with a focus on positive impact in the fields of health, psychology, and education, all of which are about the public good. Graduates, today you join some 90,000 TC alumni who took what they've learned at TC and used it to make the world better. That includes those who came to this country just to study at TC. They came to build a better world in their home countries, like Satoshi Watanabe, one of my former students, now a policy advisor to the Prime Minister of Japan, addressing the country's income inequality and stagnant wages. And Yupa Udom Sakti, who became Thailand's first woman Minister of Education and a leading public health advocate. Our alumni also include those who are making their mark here in the US. That includes Alison Desir, who channeled her passion for movement, mental health, and racial equity into founding Harlem Run and co-founding the Running Industry Diversity Coalition. And John King Jr., who is now Chancellor of the State University of New York. He is also the former US Secretary of Education. Graduates, I know you will continue in the spirit of those who have come before you, extending your impact, building on the legacy of our founding leaders, from Grace Dodge to John Dewey to Shirley Chisholm to Maxine Greene to the esteemed Ed Gordon, who is still leading the way at the age of 104. So I end where I started, with optimism because of you. In a world where decisions are being made like deals, in which winners have the cards and therefore the power, let me remind you all that you have the values, you have the knowledge, you have the experience, you have the strength. Those are all the cards that you need. And I know you will make us better. Thank you. So we've now reached the moment in this ceremony where we honor extraordinary individuals whose life's work has significantly advanced the causes of human flourishing while upholding TC's core mission to foster excellence and equity in the fields we serve. Today we honor two preeminent practitioners, scholars and leaders, clinical psychologists, Becky Kennedy and Erica Belsky, who are also TC alums. I now welcome Associate Professor Tyler Watts to the stage to introduce them. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Good morning and congratulations to all the graduates. It is my pleasure to invite our medalists, Becky Kennedy and Erica Belsky, to join me at the podium. Oh, yeah. Dr. Kennedy and Dr. Belsky, we are honored to welcome you back to Teachers College, your alma mater, to recognize your work with children and families. Together, you created Good Inside, an incredibly successful company that aims to improve the experience of modern parenting for millions. Becky Kennedy, born and raised in New York State, you headed to Duke University to study psychology and human relations, an academic combination that would set the stage for your work in the future. We are especially proud that you chose Teachers College for your graduate work, earning your doctorate in clinical psychology in 2010. The title of your dissertation, Implementing Evidence-Based Practices into Psychotherapy Training in Clinical Psychology PhD Programs. In the years since, you've become a best-selling author and mom of three, and you were dubbed the Millennial Parenting Whisperer by Time Magazine. With clarity, oh yes, yeah. As a millennial parent myself, I need a whisperer, so I'm glad we have her. With clarity and charisma, you have been reshaping how millennial parents think about raising their kids, translating research from psychology into everyday tools designed to help families navigate and thrive. Your book, Good Inside, based on the principle that all children are good inside, has become a parenting staple, and your acclaimed podcast reaches millions seeking guidance and reassurance. In your clinical work, you help teens and adults manage life's complexities, drawing on cognitive behavioral therapy, mindfulness, relational practices to encourage meaningful change. You make us feel more capable and far less alone throughout it all. Erica Belsky. After earning your BA in psychology from Cornell University, you made your way to TC, where you completed your doctorate in clinical psychology in 2012. In pursuit of your studies, you were clear, laser-focused, highly disciplined, and guided by reason, all of which contributed to your reputation as a stellar clinical trainee. With this expertise in hand, you spent several years as a substance abuse clinician at the Addiction Institute at Mount Sinai and the Freedom Institute, a state-of-the-art outpatient treatment and recovery center, sharpening your innate desire to help others. Like your TC colleague, Becky Kennedy, you are also a mother of 3 children. So maybe it was fate that in the midst of the global pandemic, you two would join forces in 2020. Together, you transformed Good Inside from a powerful idea into a global force. And as Chief Operating Officer, you co-created a chart-topping podcast, helped build an impressive digital community, and launched the first of its kind Good Inside membership, an AI-powered app that is influencing parenting behavior across the world. Becky and Erica, your academic advisor, TC professor Lena Verdelli, shares this observation. I was moved by their unwavering commitment to children's well-being. Both were highly energetic, indefatigable learners, and very principled. And although their trajectory was not a straight line, they reunited because of their commitment to family mental health. Now, please welcome Carrie Ann O'Mara, Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost and Dean of Teachers College.
Doctors Kennedy and Belsky, you approach parenting as a skill we can hone, and then you give us the tools to get there. As a result, Good Inside has become a phenomenal network for families seeking a better way forward. At a time when support and encouragement may be in short supply, Teachers College applauds your creative efforts and endless care and proudly presents you with the 2025 Medal for Distinguished Service.
Thank you for that amazing introduction, Dr. Watts, and we want to thank President Bailey, Provost O'Mara, trustees, faculty, and all of the administration and staff of Teachers College. And of course, we also want to begin by saying congratulations to the TC graduates of 2025. Incredible. We are so honored to be with you all today. I'm Dr. Becky Kennedy. I'm the founder and CEO of Good Inside, and like described, we are truly a global parenting company, or maybe even better said, a movement. And I'm here with my co-founder, COO, and one of my closest friends in the world, Dr. Erica Belsky. So we are both proud graduates of the clinical psychology doctoral program right here. This is where we got trained, where we got stretched, challenged, confused, inspired, and it's really where we became the type of people who could start something together. Today, Good Inside is a company of over 60 employees. We reach millions of parents every day through the world, through our app, our podcast, books, social media, and our amazing engaged community. And we believe we're just getting started. But to understand how we got here, we have to kind of start with the beginning. I want to tell you a story of our very first company meeting. There were 5 of us. And as a CEO and founder, I asked what I thought would be a very reasonable first question. Raise your hand if you've worked at a company before. One person of the 5 of us raised her hand. That was it. And then I, of course, asked, well, okay, what do companies do? And I heard about meetings, I heard about Slacks, I heard about job descriptions, things that at that point as a clinical psychologist were totally over my head. And what really struck me about the rest of us, me and Erica and Brooke and Roxanne, is we had all come from backgrounds in psychology and human development and teaching. And really what we knew were people. We understood people. We might not have known how to write a business plan, but we knew what motivates someone and what shuts them down, what helps someone feel safe and what helps them grow. We always knew how to hear the words that were not being said. And honestly, as I think back to that starting point, it really turns out that was the most important foundation of all. Because what no one told me in grad school is that you can hire someone to make a spreadsheet, you can figure out online how to write a good job description, but it's really hard to find people who understand people. It's rare, it's powerful, and I think it's more important than ever. And so that's what we want to talk to you about today.
We're living in a time that's fast, reactive, and full of noise. Everyone's searching for the next tool, the next hack, the next shortcut to productivity, and in the process, people are feeling disconnected from themselves, from others, from meaning. So let's say it clearly. In this world, understanding people isn't a soft skill. It's the skill. It's the thing that makes everything else work. Whether you're in a therapy room, a classroom, a boardroom, a community center, or a policy lab, it all comes down to the same questions. What do people need to feel seen? What makes them trust? What helps them grow? What are they carrying around that they didn't know? These are the questions we've been trained to ask, and they're the ones that change everything. Most of the world focuses on what people do, what they say, how they act, the outcomes. But you've been trained to see what's underneath. You notice shifts in tone, eye movements, defensive postures, emotional patterns. You think about what happened before the behavior and what might be needed after. That will make you a good colleague. That will make you a good manager. And that enables you to excel at designing products and experiences for people. So whether you're going into education, policy, conflict resolution, organizational leadership, or clinical work, remember that you've learned to slow down in the places most people speed up. That's not a bonus, that's the foundation of real leadership and real change.
We live in a culture that loves specialization, and you will probably be told at some point, pick your lane, define your brand, find your niche. But Erica and I just want to offer you something a little different today. Widen your aperture. Your degree isn't just a credential, it's a lens. It's a way to see the world. Which means, like us, your work might take you somewhere very unexpected. Maybe you'll build something, maybe you'll teach, maybe you'll design products like we're doing. Maybe you'll hold space for people in pain or people in power. And whatever it is, just don't limit yourself to the obvious next step. Just because you haven't seen it modeled in your field doesn't mean it isn't possible. We have never worked at any company before, but we both knew people, and we knew ourselves, and we knew we could use that to build something big. We trusted ourselves, And it turns out that that's actually what's most needed to start a company and a movement.
You will be in rooms where you're the only one asking, but what's really going on here? Everyone else will be focused on the surface, performance, deadlines, metrics, and you'll be thinking about dynamics, emotion, meaning. You might start to doubt yourself. You might wonder if you're being too sensitive, too thoughtful, too tuned in. Let us say this clearly. You're not too much. You're what's missing. The world needs more people who are willing to pause, to feel, to ask the deeper question, to slow things down so we can actually build something better. So when you see it differently, trust it. That's not your weakness, that's your gift.
So here you are, graduates of Teachers College, trained in psychology, education, policy, leadership, human development. But more than any of those things, you are trained in understanding people. That skill does not go out of style. That skill does not get automated. And that skill does not belong to just one career path. It's the skill that allows you to lead, to build, to heal, to teach, and to connect.
In a world full of fast fixes and surface-level solutions, you offer something deeper. You have insight, empathy, vision. You have the ability to walk into messy, emotional, complicated spaces and bring clarity. That's what the world needs right now. That's what you bring. We're so proud to be here with you today. We're so excited for what's ahead for each of you, and we can't wait to see all the unexpected things you will do.
Please welcome student speaker Jasmine Marie McElroy from the Department of Counseling and Clinical Psychology.
Halito, Onahili Achikma Ikanas. Hello, good morning, friends and fellow graduates. I know we all look back at our time at Teachers College in different but meaningful ways. As we graduate today, 5 themes stand out to me that all start with the letter I. Identity, interconnectedness, imperfection, impact, and inspiration. First, I recognize that everyone has unique identities. Our languages, cultures, values, challenges, and triumphs. My intersectional identities shape how the world approaches me and how I approach her back. Growing up in Ohio, being Black, Choctaw, and Bi was not embraced. Being misunderstood piqued my interest in psychology. However, well-meaning influences encouraged me to study business instead. I found some sense of belonging at the illustrious Howard University, graduated, began a lucrative corporate career, but something was still missing. I wasn't fulfilled nor fully authentic. So I decided to embark upon an identity journey, leaving my apartment, letting go of employment prospects, and traveling the world. And do you know what I found? Me. I went searching just to realize all the answers I sought were within me all along. Discovering a newfound purpose in service, I felt compelled to switch career identities and become a mental health counselor. But having more answers did not make the steps any easier. I still didn't feel good enough. I thought therapists had to be perfect. My very own therapist repaved that mental pathway for me. In a session during my adventure, she cried. Apparently, they have feelings too. Her reaction showed me the amazing therapists that I put on pedestals were imperfect humans just like me. I realized I could do this, and that's how I landed at Teachers College. I imagine you've had your own challenges with identity and choices too. Although we are all different, we are also interconnected, with more similarities than some may think. For instance, as counseling and clinical psychology and human development department graduates, an interest, and maybe even a passion for humans connects us. And we are all ourselves fundamentally human. Arriving at TC, I encountered an instant opportunity to embrace my imperfect humanity. During the summer welcome reception, I heard a big rip. I realized my dress had somehow come apart, but instead of freaking out, I laughed at myself. Luckily, someone from the TC's president's office thought to use some binder clips to hold my dress together. Thanks, Crystal. That foreshadowed my TC experience, where despite so much falling apart, we have tried to hold each other together. TC also inspired me to uncover more about myself. My perfectionism had for so long hidden a disability. I had the space to identify the need, and I felt supported enough to explore. So I was able to remove my Superwoman cape and embrace the accommodations I never knew I needed. Now, after graduation, I get to provide therapy to people with marginalized identities like and unlike my own. Whatever our journeys, we who are here today have survived every one of our toughest days. And there are surely more to come. But we stand on the shoulders of those who have inspired and come before us. We owe it to those who sacrificed and those who couldn't make it here to thrive ourselves. Thriving means putting our own oxygen masks on first, before helping others, like they tell us on a plane. I have no doubt that each of us will lift others up as we reach new heights, climbing to our next destinations of impact. To sustain our impact, though, we must take care of ourselves. And self-care doesn't have to mean spa days and smoothies, although I can appreciate both. It also means giving ourselves permission, with all that's going on in this world, to experience joy and gratitude in this moment, to celebrate ourselves and our accomplishments. Just by making it here, we're already someone's inspiration. I know that I am inspired by you all. Now it's time to thrive, graduates. We need self and community care, immense joy, and gratitude to sustain us in making lasting impact. If you don't remember anything else, remember the 5 I's. We are all interconnected, imperfect humans who are embracing our unique identities and serving as inspiration to impact the world for all who come after us. Congratulations to my fellow graduates as we transition to this new stage. There's no word for goodbye in Chata, so I'll say, Chipisila chike, meaning, until we meet again. Thank you.
please welcome the Parallel Brass Quintet, led by Richard Fields from the Music and the Music Education Program, Department of Arts and Humanities. And now, to recognize each of the master's degree candidates is Denise Bonetta, Senior Executive Director, Student Affairs.
Thank you very much, and good morning. Congratulations, graduates and families. We will now read the names of the graduates with the Master of Arts, Master of Education, Master of Philosophy, and Master of Science degrees by academic department. We now welcome the master's degree graduates from the Department of Counseling and Clinical Psychology. Hannah Michelle Lawrence. Nina Kahardar. Jasmine Marie McElroy.
Linda Roncareggi.
Yes!
Raffaella Zanatti Trovarelli. Delara Osbutun. Pariti Singh. Melanie Lucia Esterine. Emily Howe. Zurab Kirodanashvili. Jenny McCrae. Noemi Perez. Brooke Lee. Eugenie Catherine Karlstead. Heather Jastremski. Mira Koluri. Ashrafi Sultana Rahman.
Sarah Rachel Karkut.
Aaron Monchin. Zixin Zhang. Yvette Gunn. Katie Garcia. Anna Maritz. Laura Gold. Jade Catherine Padula. Razane Tinai Newberry. Leslie Molit. Tenzin Lee. Abiola Stella Oloye. Kiana Patterson. Sakshi Upadhyay. Kiara Houghton.
Sue Bin Jo.
Fang Fei Ye. Vincente Gonzalez.
Caitlin Kanamitsu.
Labiba Islam. Brenda Hayden.
Hala Kalicharan.
Suhana Thapa. Sama Karam. Drew Port. Alicia Christine Zarate. John Woolley. Aditya Chothani. Eric Garvan II. Jesse Pakin. Nicholas Ahari.
Sneha Jindal.
Jayashri Balasubramanian. Dahlia Alrawi. Emma Langsford. Niklas K. Nublom. Kashish Singh. Haoxue Zhang.
Leila Adames. Janavi Kumaresh.
Brianna Burke.
Rhea Ravi.
Trishla Saran. Ananya Mirji. Juliana Matwiau. Ifan Liu. Skylar Schwalb. Hongju Choi. Emily Dennis.
Renda Hui Wu.
Olivia Tween.
Nicole Margarita Guzman.
Amy Nicole Carbajal Herrera.
Anthony Pagu.
Isabel Figueroa Fernandez. Valeria Rafucci. Rochelle Braca Fishbin. Catherine Duffy. Ying Luo.
They're asking us to slow down a bit so it matches up.
Shetan Liu. Kexin Seong. Hyo Min Lee. Joel Higa. Sarah Beth Clayton. Chelsea Fasano. Mimi Gupta.
Mozima Ahmad.
Hongyu Ma. Zhen Hu. Li Qian Yao. Zoe Zhang.
Lisa Wisney Simon.
Yishan Zhang. Taylor Lee. Catherine Yang. Yu Wu. Shiqi. Yufei Li. Hao Yuan Shi. Pallavi Rohatgi. Jane Jiyoung Kim. Irene Fueyo Gomez. Maya Sikora. Claudia Irizarry. Isis Encinas. Peng Yu Chen. Shreya Gar. Sakina Master. Brooke Marvel. J. Douglas Kalenbeck. Myra Seles. Nico Bitker. Finn Leon. Kimberly Isabel Correa. Maeve Winter.
Lee Jean Chiam.
Yushu Zhang. Zixuan Wu. Yijing Lin. Huiyin Xiao. Yu Zhang. Julia Bentum. Caitlin White. Marianne Bassing. Sarah Eslami. Rashi Verma. Xiao Yu Li. Brian Chow. Antidani.
Ja Yun B. Lee. Jasmine Garcia Tapia.
Isabella Young. Aaron O'Connor. Batul Abbasi. Joshua Bonilla. Eleanor Moe. Yukti Mayur Bhatt. Hillary Whittier Ormes. Cholad Adel M. H. Albaker. Pei Pangjong Yuan. Floortje Justens. Kenneth Robert Gordon. Emre Kuraner. Vidhi Agrawal. Alex Skupny. Apurva Anadi. Brooke Erica Gordon. Danielle Milton. Kyle Williams. Elijah Velasquez. Krista Elizabeth Scales Blow. Nadia Hakim. Donia Sara Tabibi. Zain Ibrahim. Jamachi Jasmine Opara. Nancy Wu. Jiayue Liu. Caitlin Young. Wendy Guo. Bem Simbam Nku. Amy Hong. Janeka Davis. Christina Ali. Constantina Venetis. Mary King. Gail Harrison. Erica Garagiola. Sunju Lee.
Nathan Hobe Lowry.
John Rose. Chelsea Marie Pimentel. Alexandra Simon. Bingsong Lee. Chi Ni Lin. Yitung Lin. Yaren Jang. Kimberly Abigail Galston. Aditi Rahul Pingale. Yuanjin Lei. Yuanjiang. Yishen Jasmine Yang. Seo Wu. Lenore Ben Shalom. Lily Claire Connors. Jiayi Young. Caitlin Costello. Charlotte Eiseman. Bailey Schock. Rebecca Berg. Sophia Packer. Valerie Tu. Young So Choi. Emma DiMartino. Jordan C. Nafiza Taranum. Gwyneth Sauter. Marissa Steinberg. Yihan Liu.
Atticus Jiaonan Yang.
Vincent Moss. Jade Gallo. Micaela Ostre. Montse Gonzalez Alonso. Jenna Marie Wetstein. Delaney Simchuk. Emily Lynn Roberts. Samantha Van Seeklen. Luping Wang. Iman Nandi. Ashley Ann Cooper. Nursa Birce Murtezoglu. Ria Ghosh. Mike Zhao. Scott Sun. Junshen Zhang. Yining Feng. Yukai Q. Yanhao Zhu. Yi Zhou. Yujing Zhou. Zoe Shears. Pearl Ahiku. Maria Teresa Largo. Sumita Mishra. Bakhtawar Shabazz. Noor Zrian. Lauren Ray Caldwell. Madison Rudick. Emma Elman. Yilin Liu. Journey Olabisi Coker. Monira Hassan. Jessica Schrobilgen. Marcus Higueda.
Angela O.
Juntang Nancy Chan. Monica Ashley O'Neill. Tamara Aid. Bailey Carlin McGuinn. Laura Oostergaard. Yehan Shi. Yilin Peng. Huichen Deng. Amarie Lin. Wang Yui Martin Lee. Jia Zhenju. Sankofa Akum. Yanshe Niu. Yutongju. Yibin Xu. Danny Xue. Ian Carroll. Stephanie Yuan. Matthew Kozakowski. Henry Kyle.
Lauren Terrashano.
Hunter Kelly. Sydney Roche. Allison Tortorella. Yihong Yang. Shi Susie Ji.
Yashren Peng. Chen Xuan Xu.
Hao Young Tung, Huanyi Ye, Heidi Kim, Chantel Koo, Tala Chehatli, Nura Albreki, Isan Jahanka, Carla Darlene Grilly, Bakari Porter, Nupur Vagasia, Jonavi Polumahanti, Cherry Han, Maya Falb, Tanishka Manish Sidwani, Dana Lane, Dennis Lemke, Amy Nicole Guaman Dumancella, Daniel Garcia de Bonis,
Jordan Juliao.
Riley Antoinette Betchka, Caitlin Elizabeth Hoylan Townsend, Vanessa Olazabal, Nazli Suarez, Madeline Orr, Emily Jade Schwartz, Wen Hui Chi, Han So Lee, Victoria Mahler, Aaliyah Watson,
Victoria Alonso.
Yifei Li,
Ziyi Guo.
Alana Flowers,
Jimin Kim, Jingyi Yang, Jian Shi, Zaina El Hadi. That concludes the graduates from the Department of Counseling and Clinical Psychology. I now ask the department faculty to rise if they are able to be recognized by our graduates. We now welcome the master's degree graduates from the Department of Human Development.
Ashley Hetty,
Yael Silverstein.
Leanne Arno, Megan Sill, Yifan Lei, Francisca Giovanna de Geronimo, Abigail Lee, Sydney Whitaker Herman, Isabella Lacey, Yishao Xie, Chuksin Kai, Carmen Cortez Morales, Shamiza Aziz, Xian Jiang, Sizhe Zhang, Lin Rui Gan, Jiowei Tian, Yelin Wu, Haiye Meng, Lin Yuan Wang, Yiming Wang,
思琪亮，
Zhu Yingzhu, Shue Yu Sheng, Sean Marks, Jonathan Chastain, Shuefei Chen, Stephen Smith, Eugene Chen, Ethan Hu, Bochu Hu, Jia Yong Wu, Yuxin Chen, Yiden Chen,
君之晃，
Yuting Cheng, Haining Chen, Zhenqi Li, Han Liang, Xian Chen, Paiyu Sao, Sean Dolce, Camila Torres Rivera, Amel Al-Rifai, Aisha Kabir, Rochelle Roy, Sichen Lee, Joshua Vliet, Siyu Leng, Hannah Tang, Hong Rui Kwa, Justin Suen Jinlo, Yue Summer Wu, Tianyang Li, Jiahao Tang, Nicole Hong, Alisa Lei, Ximen Zhao, Wan Yi Huo, Alice Wang, Yichen Li, Moya Wang, Mingxi Han, Kechen Pu, Mendiani Cadet, Howling Zhang, Wei Liang Hu, Xitao Chen, Wen Ge, Huazhou Wu, Midi Ma, Xinjin Li, Ziki Huang, Xinhu Tang, Yuxin Meng, Yentiu Kong, Jiaxin Yu,
Zihan Jha. That concludes the graduates from the Department of Human Development. I now ask the department faculty to rise if they are able to be recognized by the master's graduates. And that concludes the recognition of master's candidates. Thank you.
And now we will begin the hooding ceremony for the TC's doctoral graduates. Each department will be presented by their chair, and each graduate will be hooded by a member of the faculty. Please welcome Laura Smith, Professor of Psychology and Education and Chair of the Department of Counseling and Clinical Psychology.
Hi, everyone. Our amazing graduates in the Department of Counseling and Clinical Psychology are outstanding mental health professionals who are prepared for psychological practice, and they are also the scientists who conduct the research that informs the practice, all in service of understanding and enhancing human well-being. It is truly my honor to present our wonderful doctoral graduates today.
We now welcome the doctoral degree graduates from the Department of Counseling and Clinical Psychology.
Tyner Leah Gordon.
Professor George Bonanno will hood our next graduate.
Roland Hart.
Professor Melanie Brewster will hood our next graduate.
Olivia Snow.
Sylvia Hugh Man Wong.
Associate Professor Christine Cha will hood our next graduate.
Ilana Gratch.
Professor Barry Farber will hood our next graduates.
Catherine Crum. Joshua Lipson. Ryan Michael Susponic.
Great. Professor George Gushu will hood our next graduate. Professor Barry Farber will hood our next graduate.
Abigail Alana Crete. Jacqueline Patmore.
And now Professor George Gushu will hood our next graduate.
Sandra Natalie Gomez.
Assistant Professor Cindy Wang will hood our next graduate.
Cindy J. Huang.
Professor Doug Menon will hood our next graduates.
Jean Quintero.
Michal Clayton.
Professor Marie Maville will hood our next graduates.
Brianna Alexis Baker. Tatiana Marie Vera.
And that concludes the doctoral graduates from the Department of Counseling and Clinical Psychology. I now ask the department faculty to rise if they are able to be recognized by our doctoral graduates.
Please welcome Gary Nitriello, Ruth L. Gottesman Professor in Educational Research and Chair of the Department of Human Development.
So the provost asked us to spice up these introductions a little bit, so I'm going to give it my best. So faculty and students in the Department of Human Development create and apply theoretical perspectives and empirical tools for research to further our understanding of the factors that impede or contribute to the growth of individuals and groups over the life course. We offer programs in cognitive science and education, developmental psychology, learning analytics, and measurement, evaluation, and statistics. And beginning in the fall, as we celebrate our 30th anniversary as a department, we will add a new online program in data learning and society. So working in our department is now within the reach of everyone in the audience today and many beyond. So I'm not just a chair, I'm a recruiter. Now, as you might imagine from the list of our programs, our graduates today are first and foremost researchers who embrace discipline-based methods of inquiry in the service of human development broadly conceived. Or, more concisely, our graduates can count. They do work that counts, and we look forward to all the ways they themselves will count in the years ahead.
We now welcome the doctoral degree graduates from the Department of Human Development. Professor Jim Corder will hood our next graduate.
Yenshin Ye.
Associate Professor Kay James will hood our next graduate.
Jialin Zheng.
Associate Professor Brian Keller will hood our next graduate.
Julia Saw Young Lim.
Associate Professor Tyler Watts will hood our next graduates.
Sarah Hina Chu. Si Xiao. Emma Hart.
Teresa Fraguada.
Xin Yu Pan.
That concludes the doctoral graduates from the Department of Human Development. I now ask the department faculty to rise if they are able to be recognized by the doctoral graduates. That concludes the hooding of our doctoral graduates. Thank you.
And now, for the presentation of the graduates, please welcome Provost Carrie Ann O'Meara.
President Bailey, Chair Nelson, trustees, faculty, staff, and guests, it is my great pleasure as Provost of the college to present to you the master's graduates from Teachers College. Graduates, when I say your degree, please stand if you're able, and please hold all your applause until all the graduates have been recognized. Would Masters of Arts please stand to be recognized and remain standing? Would Masters of Science please stand to be recognized and remain standing? Would Masters of Education please stand to be recognized and remain standing? Would Masters of Philosophy please stand to be recognized and remain standing? And now it is my great pleasure to present you the doctoral candidates from Teachers College. Please hold all your applause until the graduates have been recognized. Would Doctor of Education please stand to be recognized and remain standing? And would Doctor of Philosophy please stand to be recognized and remain standing? Now we can clap. President Bailey, I commend these graduates for their commitment to a wiser, healthier, more equitable, and more just world. And I look forward to the positive change they will make as they take their place as leaders in our society. Please join me again in recognizing our graduates.
Please welcome President of the TC Alumni Council, Brian Kennerly.
Congratulations once again to the class of 2025. You are now all TC alumni. My name is Brian Kennerly, and I'm president of the TC's Alumni Council, and I'm honored to speak to you on this momentous day. I remember the immense feeling of accomplishment after I completed my master's degree in educational leadership at TC. I remember looking around during my own convocation at the classmates who became friends, the professors who shaped my academic journey, and all of the individuals who made my experience enriching and special. And although this may feel like the end of an era for you, this is just the beginning. You are now and forever will be a proud TC alum. More than 100,000 alumni live in all 50 states across the U.S. and are in 161 countries around the world. Wherever you go and whatever you do, you can connect with and learn from other distinguished TC alumni through regional groups, affinity groups, and through service. Our alumni body is made stronger by extraordinary people like you, making strides in the areas of education, health, and psychology all over the world. Let me reiterate, this is the beginning of a new experience with TC that will continue to build throughout your career. Engage with your fellow alumni, share ideas, and collaborate with one another. Stay in touch with us, letting us know about the important work you're doing, and come and visit us on campus and around the globe. True change starts with TC, and I'm here to remind you that true change starts with you. Congratulations to the class of 2025.